Hey, what's up guys, Will here for GSM Arena. Xiaomi recently came out with two camera phones. The first is the Xiaomi 13T, a mid-ranger which provides many premium features like advanced Leica branded cameras. But then there's the pricier Xiaomi 13T Pro, which has the same cameras but a better chipset and faster charging, and goodies like Wi-Fi 7 support. So which one is the better deal? Let's put the Xiaomi 13T and Xiaomi 13T Pro head to head and find out. The Xiaomi 13T and 13T Pro are in many ways quite the same, especially when it comes to looks. The centerpiece is the huge square camera bump, and the back curves slightly into a plastic frame. Our 13T has a glass back, and our 13T Pro has the grippier eco leather backing, but you can get either variant on both phones. And both the Xiaomi 13T and 13T Pro have IP68 rated ingress protection against dust and water. Both of these phones have the same premium display, a 6.67-inch OLED with a 1220p resolution, Gorilla Glass 5 protection, and a 144Hz refresh rate. These screens are a bit sharper than average and support 12-bit color depth, as well as HDR10+ video and Dolby Vision. They provide accurate color calibration too. They also have very similar brightness capabilities, achieving a maximum of around 500 nits with manual controls, and boosting up to 1100 or 1200 nits in auto mode when exposed to bright light. One thing worth mentioning is that the highest 144Hz refresh rate is reserved for games and compatible apps. In general, the phones use 120Hz when you're swiping and scrolling, 60Hz when idling, and 30Hz for the always-on display. For audio, both of these phones have stereo speakers, but the Xiaomi 13T's setup is slightly louder. Still, both offer decent sound with good vocals and some bass. The storage options are quite different between the two phones. The 13T comes with 256 gigs of UFS 3.1 storage, while the 13T Pro goes up to a terabyte and is UFS 4.0, which is 50 to 80% faster. The interface of either phone is Xiaomi's MIUI 14 on top of Android 13. You get the same experience here as on any recent Xiaomi phone. However, the 13T and 13T Pro have better software support than most other Xiaomi phones, 4 years of major Android updates, and 5 years of security patches. If you'd like to find out more about MIUI 14, you can check out our dedicated video. One of the biggest differences between these phones is the chipset. The Xiaomi 13T runs on a high-end, yet not cutting-edge, MediaTek Dimensity 8200 Ultra. On the other hand, the Xiaomi 13T Pro has a MediaTek Dimensity 9200 Plus, which is on par with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 you'd find in other 2023 flagships. Quite expectedly, while still great, the Xiaomi 13T's performance is far inferior to the Pro model, which has a 30 to 40% faster CPU and 2 times faster GPU. So the Xiaomi 13T Pro could be the better choice for heavy gamers. Still, the Xiaomi 13T can offer smooth gaming as well, albeit with some turned-down settings. And both phones have great sustained performance. The Xiaomi 13T and 13T Pro are both powered by 5000 mAh batteries, and the battery life is similar but a bit better on the non-Pro model. It earned an active use score of 12 hours and 23 minutes versus 11 hours and 50 minutes on the Pro. The two are neck and neck basically, except for the call and video playback tests, where the non-Pro model had slightly longer run times. A much bigger difference though is the charging speed. The Xiaomi 13T supports 67-watt charging, while the 13T Pro supports 120 watts, and since both phones come with the needed chargers in the box, we were able to test their max charging speed. As you'd expect, the Xiaomi 13T Pro is much faster. It can charge to around 70% in 50 minutes, while the same would take a half hour on the non-Pro, and charging to full is about twice as fast as well. Now on to the cameras, which are identical between the two phones. There's a 50-megapixel main cam, a 50-megapixel 2x telephoto, and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide. Both phones are just as capable, except when it comes to video recording. The 13T Pro can shoot in 8K at 24 FPS from the main cam, as well as 4K at 60 FPS, while the 13T maxes out at 4K at 30 FPS, probably a chipset limitation. Still, while it may look nice on paper, the quality of the Xiaomi 13T Pro 8K video is nothing special. The foliage and other high-frequency details have an artificial look. But the 4K videos from either phone look great, with matching color saturation, nice contrast, and wide dynamic range. The detail is very good on the zoomed videos, but the detail level of the ultra-wide's 4K video is just average. The 4K low-light videos from the main cam are high in quality, with rich detail, low noise, and wide enough dynamic range. When it comes to photo quality, you get the same results from both phones, except for minor differences in the color temperature. The main cameras capture detailed photos, and the processing is balanced and natural looking. The colors are vibrant, but not over the top, and the dynamic range is wide enough. The 2x zoomed photos from the telephoto cameras are solid. They have enough detail, saturated colors, high contrast, and good dynamic range. The ultra-wide photos are good. The detail is average, but enough for this sort of camera. The colors are likable, and the dynamic range is wide. At night, the automatic night mode processing produces some nice shots. The photos from the main cameras are practically identical, and there's not a substantial difference if you force the night mode on. However, the telephoto camera on the 13T Pro has a slightly better definition to begin with, and it becomes even better if you force the night mode on. These photos come out much more detailed than the 13Ts. Finally, shooting with the ultra-wide brings similar photos out of the two phones. However, on some of our test scenes, we did get a slightly more natural detail rendition out of the 13T Pro. The Xiaomi 13T and 13T Pro have 20 megapixel selfie cameras, and these photos are a mixed bag. They do have great exposure, lively colors, and adequate dynamic range, but they are soft, with little fine detail. And here's a look at the 1080p selfie videos taken with either phone. So that's the Xiaomi 13T and 13T Pro. They're quite similar, and in the end it all comes down to how much you want to spend. With the Xiaomi 13T, you get the same build, display, and camera quality as the Pro model. The battery life is a bit better, but more importantly, you'd save plenty of cash. But the Xiaomi 13T Pro does have its benefits. There's a more powerful chipset, and bigger and faster storage. The phone is about twice as fast to charge, and you get 4K 60 video recording and Wi-Fi 7 support. Overall, if you're after some savings, the Xiaomi 13T is the better deal, but if you're looking for a more future-proof solution, the 13T Pro could be worth the premium. Thanks for watching guys, and see you on the next one.